Okay, everybody, it seems like we are ready for, I believe, one of the most heavy RNG run in the marathon. And I've actually only seen this beaten once at the BSG, where I was also a host, so that's already a good luck. So, ShuriBear, take it away with Lufia 2, Ancient Cave, any percent, no manipulation.
Hey guys, I'm Shuri. Next to me, the camera has to be changed a little bit, but there is no name, and we have Totodile a little bit more there. Also on the co-commentary. There we go. Yeah, welcome to Lufia 2 Ancient Cave. Like we're going to explain a little bit later, but is the name still Iris exclamation mark?
It's still Iris exclamation mark, and the capsule monster is still Gelson.
Okay, you can close both of them right now.
I will do.
Fumi hype.
No. Anyway, is the timer ready? Yeah, can we do a countdown? Is it ready? 2, 1, go! So yeah, like the host said, this is one of the most RNG heavy runs you're going to see at this marathon, and there is a chance that we cannot finish this run. So that is makes it very monk-ass, but very, very interesting. Next to me, like I said, on the couch, where the hell is Chelsea? That's Gusto.
The first one.
I'm so not used to doing that, so...
You're not alone with that.
Yeah.
I had to check Gelze, the name I completely didn't know before, so I had to check yesterday myself.
But yeah, next to me there is No Name, and he also runs the Asian Cave. And I was like, hey, you're at this event, you know more about the cave as well. It's going to be early for us, so that way we can do some commentary.
And I really like the offer, and although I hate any percent in this game, because in my opinion any percent is way too fast, way too short, and way too RNG heavy. That's why I prefer the game mode Iris percent, where you have to find very, very rare items in this cave, which is even more RNG heavy, but not as strict. So you can do mistakes as many as you want and still can get a good run.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why this is such an RNG heavy run has to do about everything is randomized. Like, you know which enemies you can encounter, but you don't know the amount, where they are, what the floor layouts will be, etc. So learning this run is all about adapting. And here I'm manipulating, so I'm 100% sure that I will get there. Normally I will skip all these fights, but because this is a marathon, you want to have some safety starts as well. And I think Russia wanted to say something, so go ahead.
I wasn't actually something planning to say, but I actually want to mention that basically after 2 runs, so within 3 hours or so, we will have Russian Crystal Förderstachel. And we have 2 different categories for that, and you guys get to choose because there hasn't been any donation for it yet. We have Pamela any percent versus Frudia any percent. So get your donations in for the category of Russian Constellata Freudenstachel.
You are way better at pronouncing it than I am. Holy crap, that's... if you do not know German, that's pretty hard to pronounce. Anyway, the thing is, like, for the people who never played this game before, this is like an extra game mode if you play the first time around normally, and then the retry mode and finish that. And then you can do this like a whole different kind of game. So that makes it actually really cool that it's like, you will say it's like pre-DLC, DLC kind of thing.
Yeah, so as Yuri said, if you play through the game, you unlock the retry mode, which is basically just the story mode again with 4 times the money and the experience you gain. And after you've done that, you unlock this extra mode, the Ancient Cave, the gift mode. The Ancient Cave also is in the main game. The difference between the main game and the gift mode is that you, in the gift mode, you're able to choose which characters you want to take with you in. And in a story mode, you have only a few parties at certain points of the game that you actually can take into the game. And none of those parties is the optimal party that you want to take really in for the category. Of course, you could take some of the, I'd say, weaker characters with you, but of course, for the optimal route, you want to have the best characters for the game.
Yeah, exactly. and also at the end we have to fight a Master Jelly, and that jelly you have to kill it in 3 turns. Otherwise he goes away, and you still technically do not finish the category. There is a way to cheese it and just kill yourself, but we do not allow that in this category name. So there are certain things we are looking for in this game, like the Dagger Blade, Katie's Blade, so we can do that. The reason that we want that has to do with the IP, which is like a carry point, and every time we get damage, the orange bar at the bottom will fill up when you will see that when we're going into a fight, and that will make it so we can do special stuff with like certain equipment.
And early destroy. That could come in handy if we don't find any deadlies soon.
Yeah, exactly.
So the main part in this game is normally you try to get some good weapons out of the chests and then try to get down. But there are in total 3 weapons: the Fatal Pick, the Deadly Rod, and the Deadly Sword. They have each an 80% chance to instant kill an enemy that isn't undead, and that's why we use it. The only problem is those weapons are so-called cursed weapons. So once you equip them, you're not able to unequip them. But fortunately in the cave there's also an item called Curse Lifter that breaks that curse. And in case of the Deadly Rod and the Deadly Sword, that would really come in handy, because once you uncurse a Deadly Sword or a Deadly Rod, they get a fractional attack that will always deal a certain percentage of the current enemy's health.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're really looking for as well. So yeah, at certain points, I hope we can get hyped stuff. Also, one of the things...
Water Ring.
That is nice. Water Ring, it does double damage on water spells, so that can be very helpful.
Let's hope we find Dragon.
Dragon, yeah.
I would be really
Also,
fine for the jelly already.
Also, what No Name forgot to mention is like there is a fake Deadly Sword, and that one is just terrible. But there's an easy way to know if it's a real one or a fake one by just examining the name of the sword. So
the description, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The fake one has the description: the power of a deadly sword turned into an actual sword, because from floor 20 to I think 23 or 24 there are enemies which are really called deadly swords, and they drop themselves, and those are the fake deadlies. They are also cursed. You can't unequip them after, but they have like only a 20% chance to hit, although some of the cave runners by now think that they don't even have a chance on instant killing. I'm not really into that discussion by now. Creek, if you're around, maybe you could make that clear in the chat.
Yeah, like Creekspire, he knows a lot about the game. He made a whole spreadsheet that you can find somewhere, like for instance on my chat or something. And there's like, you can see like what every weapon does, every special it has, like all the weaknesses of the boss, of the enemies, and the HP, etc. So it's like a very thought out, thorough guide that will very help you out if you want to learn this game.
Yeah, but there are many ways to learn the game. For instance, there is the website bingosim.com, and that you can create random bingo cards for many games. And for the Ancient Cave, there also is a bingo that you can make in there, which is just where you just have to run around, open chests, find the items on the bingo board.
Yeah, let me just go through, because otherwise we are going to waste time.
Yeah,
the reason I'm not going for the last chest is because it's a mimic. The reason I can see that is, if you see it right now, there's a color difference. The left one is a little bit more yellow, a little bit more whitish red, and that's why we know it's a fake chest. Sorry, but otherwise we lose too much time. Go ahead, no name.
Yeah, the red mimics also, we call them red because there are also blue mimics later on. The red mimics also, when you come to the red mimics, when you come to close, will chase you. And later on, we will find around 30. We maybe encounter some blue mimics. They. Oh my god, that ring lock. That ring lock right now.
Like, there are only a few floors you can get special rings,
Yeah,
so it is insane that we get these many rings.
The game is a little bad programmed, so shields and shields, helmets, and rings can only be obtained until floor 10, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah.
And also, the water ring is very good, especially the elemental. Wake me up! Can we turn on the estimate, turn it into 20 hours? Because that would be a hell of a pace for an Iris percent right now. Also, Shuri, you know what that means. You promised. I will see the proof later.
Anyway, for the people who do not understand it, like Iris, those are Iris treasures. And those treasures that help you to complete a quest to get 9 different Iris items, and you have to kill a monster jelly, which we're actually going to kill right now. And if you get everything, then you're like the best treasure hunter in the world. But the thing with Iris treasures is that everything is randomized, and it's very, very difficult, normally speaking, to get them. It's super RNG heavy.
The first Iris treasure has a chance of 1 to 500 to be in any red chest you find. Yeah, so the more you get, the less chance, and that's why I said that's the category I run most. My current PB in that is close to 17 hours. World record is 11:44. So yeah, it's an insane category. It's completely luck dependent, and yeah. If you want to see that, check out Shuri's and mine channel, because we actually plan on doing a race in that next Saturday.
I hope I get strong soon or something. That would be nice.
Yeah, healing spell and gift in general. That's not like poison.
Yeah, well, poison will also be good because I do not have an antidote yet, and this will lose.
Antidotes. That'll lose a few seconds, yes, but let's just for the memes, it wouldn't be that bad. But yeah, also for now we can kill fast enough, so the poison won't really affect us.
Also, sometimes I try to kill enemies, that's just for extra experience. Normally, in a normal run, I will not do this. But safety strats. We have 2 hours, which is a very, very broad estimate, so...
Yeah, so normal cave runners take their aim around 1:30 for a cave completion. Others... Oh, course. You want to explain course real quick?
Well, course is like very easy. Oh wait, that's actually not worth it. Like, these are like the metal slimes in Dragon Warrior. Like, these give insane amounts of experience. Like, you could say these are like 10 times the experience of normal enemies around this level. So this means like when we kill this dude, I have to press left for a few seconds and not do anything, because that's how many level ups we get.
Yeah, normally the only thing when fighting them is they have a very high chance on running away, and they have a very high physical defense, so you normally want to use a spell on them. Unfortunately, we only have Thunder, which is a late game tier 3 spell, and that costs a hell lot of MP. So we don't really want to waste them unless
it's 4.
We have really a chance on maybe getting a 4 encounter like this.
So here I want to do it because there's a chance of having it 4 times, but like there was like a big chance for only 1.
Oh.
So then it's not worth it. Like now for 2 cores already, I would say, hey,
2
it's definitely worth it.
2 it's already worth it.
And now I'm 100% sure I'm not under leveled, so we can go a little bit faster. And once again, I just have to press the L button for a few seconds.
A would work too.
Yeah, but I'm lazy.
Yeah.
L is easier.
Yeah. So yeah, the biggest points for us that we really want to find now is a healing spell that actually heals health. In best case, oh, a blue chest.
The worst thing you can get out of a blue chest.
Nope, that's a lie.
No, it's not a lie, it's true.
Catfish is actually useful because it greatly boosts the magic power of Artie. The worst thing you could get by now would better be an engage ring or a dire ring or an ice hairband.
Okay, I guess, but ice hairband is not easy.
Yeah,
stone.
okay,
But still,
ice
I
hairband
understand
can
what
be
you mean.
lucky.
Like you could still equip this. I guess that's
Yeah.
why you're right.
And it at least has a good effect. I mean, the catfish jewel in combination with the water ring, if we find dragon, is already a very good damage for the jelly or at enemies in general.
True. So we already found the stairs, but I just want to explore just in case. I want to.
Yeah, because as we said, definitely we want to find a healing spell as soon as possible. Because as you can imagine, when we have to fight enemies, we don't want to do it on low health. Healing items are slow and rare, and that's why we definitely want to have a healing spell.
I was hoping for a first chest floor 15 Dagger Blade. That would be insane.
That's a meme. From floor 15 to 98, we can now find the weapon called Dagger Blade. It's only equipable on Dagger. It doesn't have a very high base attack for most of the caves, so if we should... Oh,
nice, dragon.
If we should find one early, we probably equip it, but around the mid-floors we find something better. But the Dagger Blade is like the ultimate weapon for the jelly because of its IP attack. It costs 100% of an IP bar, but therefore deals 50% of the current enemy's
50%.
HP. At least 50%. It's a roll in the end. And with the jelly, we have, as Fury said before, we have to kill him in 3 turns. He has 9,980 HP. So from that, 50% is already a lot.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, it is possible without getting
it is
with
definitely
Dagger Blades.
possible. I mean,
just harder.
With the water ring and dragon right now, I would say a double myth would probably do the trick by now.
Yeah, but we will get Gage's Blade anyway, right?
Don't say that too loud, or jinx it.
Well,
that we don't get it.
For the people who don't know, Gage's Blade is like next to the Dagger Blade, one of the best blades to have because you can attack 8 times in a row.
But as you've seen, we had a blue chest before. Blue chests are rare chests in this game. They contain very, very powerful equipment. And the thing with the cave is every time you enter, you have to give away all your stuff. Your party gets resetted on level 1, and all you get with you are 10 potions. But the thing actually is, if you leave the cave with a blue after you find a blue chest, you actually are able to take the blue chest item out of the cave and actually back in with you. And the Gator's Blade is a blue chest item. It's very rare too. I mean, I don't think the odds for blue chest item are very confused, but there are just so many, so the odds are pretty low that you find one.
And the funny thing is, like, not that long ago, I had 3 runs in a row that had like Dagger Gator's Blade at 420, and people were freaking out.
In my last Iris percent a few weeks back, when I got my close to sub 17 PB, I actually found 2, and I actually killed the jelly with 2 Gator's Blades equipped because I didn't have anything better. It was a close kill in the end because I don't have anything attack boosting, but yeah, it's a meme, it's funny. It's very slow in the end because again, one Gator's Blade has the special attack that it deals 8 attacks in one row, and of course 8 times the attack animation is pretty slow. But of course, if you don't have anything else, you're definitely happy to actually have to kill and don't really care if you take like a minute longer because you have extra attack animations.
Exactly. And what I do there is like I use my R button and I choose a direction, and that is like not really a glitch, but like a kind of a exploit that we use so we can manipulate certain enemies.
Yeah, so certain, as you probably know, enemies have certain patterns. Some, as we now introduce to the teleporters, just teleport every few steps we take. Others do inverted, walk always inverted to us. Others try to follow us. So there's a lot of different enemy movements. And some enemies that walk inverted to us can be manipulated using the strat.
Exactly.
So now we entered the 21s. We have a little sequence change. We will have another one of those on floor 41. So enjoy the little music change. And also we have new enemies with new powers now.
Oh,
Actually, new enemies come like every 3 to 5 floors to see new enemies. But especially I'd say it's like an upgrade in the difficulty every time you get a scene change. So like if you have good equipment for the monsters around the 20s, that's good. But as soon as you reach level 20, they probably won't be enough anymore.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
sure.
We got a €5 donation by Fenicus saying, "Good luck, Shuri. May the cave be generous and the ninjas knifeless." Donation to Shuri's Choice.
So yeah, that's a little meme. We later will encounter enemies called assassins and enemies called ninjas. They move super fast, always chase us, and they have like different attack patterns. They can do normal attacks, they can do an instant death attack, and they can do knife throws. And knife throw is an attack that deals pretty high amount of damage. It isn't that bad because mostly you're okay when you reach the floors. You're able to like survive at least 2 of those, if not 3. But it's very rare that you have an encounter of 3 ninjas that actually do 3 knife throwers. So mostly you can survive that, but it can be pretty clutch in the end.
Yes. And the assassins have like an insta-kill attack as well, so it can be very Monka-esque at certain points.
Yeah, the worst thing that could happen, Rally.
Yes.
Rally is a very good spell because it's a healing spell that will always heal 100 health, divided by the amount of players you use it on. And also it's a reviving spell. So if some of us should die, they would be revived.
Yeah, that makes the run a lot more safe.
Yeah, so in general you want to have like a low MP cost healing spell that heals pretty okay, like Rally or the weakest spell Strong for outside of battle, and then like one of the strongest healing spell
But still Searing, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the worst.
Yeah, and a late game healing spell for in battle like Valor or Champion. So if you find one of those, you can cheer for us, because then we at least have a good chance to reach further down.
This bee is not cooperating.
When are bees ever cooperating?
Like, lately on my own stream, they've been pretty nice with the patterns, but that bee was like, yeah, you shall not pass, and that's a bit annoying. But yeah, bees have like a really weird pattern, like 1 2 0, 1 2 3 2 1 0, I believe.
Yeah, that's about it.
And you can lose if you lose the count, it's gonna be very weird. Plus, it's I think random how they move, like where.
Yeah.
And that's Deadly Rod. That is one of the instant
very good. That is
kills.
very good. Especially the Deadly Rod is the best thing you could ask for, because the Deadly Sword only Iris in that case could equip, and Iris has a very good amount of other weapons that you like to use him. And Artie is like more the mage, so you don't really care if he's blocked by a weapon, like a deadly weapon that you can't equip. And
Exactly. Plus, if we
Uncursed, we have a fractional attack
As well.
with 1/8, I think.
let's see if there's a real one. But also, if you do not find a curse lifter, we still have our water ring plus.
Plus
Oh, that's
dragon.
a fake one.
That's a fake one.
You can see that on the text.
But the good one is the fake ones are more likely to be accepted well by our capsules, because capsule monsters kind of we could say work like Digimon. If you feed them stuff, they evolve, and the further they evolve, the stronger they are. The more health they get, the higher their attack is, the more strong attack they can use.
Yeah. Also, I decided to not run away from this just for some extra experience.
I mean, you got 3 cores, and you're now around those floors, so extra experience. I like to be around level 16 when I reach the 20s to feel comfortable. So yeah, a few experience could not hurt.
No, like, we're not trying to PB here, we just try to finish a run. That's already like an accomplishment in a marathon run.
Well, I gotta say, I only finished one, if you want to call it any percent by now, in 3 hours 17 minutes. Although it was not really an any percent, it was more like a 50%. Because to sell, we also have the 100% category, which forces you to kill every enemy and to open every chest. And the 50% I said I did was I opened every chest I could find on every floor. Because it was during an Iris percent, and Champion is definitely a nice spell right now. It costs a little more than Rally, but with one cast we have full heal on every person, so that's pretty nice.
Exactly. These are very scary
Healing
snails.
tile. I mean, we don't really need it.
Yeah, we don't need it anymore.
So
but it's good
you
that
see-
you say it, because as you can see, like the lowest bush in the bottom right corner, that one is the healing tile. I can actually show
It looks a little flat, that's how you can detect
Yeah.
it, and it's a healing
So-
tile. If you cut the bush, there's this field, and if you step on it, you get fully healed in health. Sadly not in magic, and there are no tiles that heal magic, but in some cases, of course, it's safe for the MP, and it can be really come in handy.
Definitely, definitely. Wait, I'm going to kill that dog. That sounds very bad out of context, but we need some experience. I do not feel
Well-
100% comfortable, so I rather.
Bad out of
it's,
context. We should probably announce when we arrive at the late 30s, there will be enemies called Garbosts, and they have a certain percentage chance to drop an item named Cancer Rock. Cancer Rock is also a very nice item for the jelly, because it allows you to attack twice in a turn, and you can use it actually twice at the jelly fight. And some runners, as myself, like to make a joke out of it and to yell around that they like to get cancer. In a context that's somehow not good. I mean, we're here to kill cancer, so it's probably not the best idea to shout that on stream. I try to keep it down. But yeah, having a Cancer Rock is pretty good for the run itself. So, by the way, we're talking so much by now. We haven't let our co-commentator talk. Toda, have you anything to add? Fantastic. That was a very, very good comment by Totodal. That was very important. We nearly forgot about that.
And host, do you perhaps have to say something around this time? Because we are talking so much, and we can talk about the whole run, but I guess you
spear.
also want to say a few things.
Of course, I can tell a few things, but first I have a €1 donation by Anonymous saying, "Hey chat, let's all break BSG's donation total record today. Cancer sucks and we should do more about it. Good luck on the runners and keep on going." And while you are still working in the ancient cave, I can tell a little bit about us, because we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering, and we organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. We are currently streaming at our annual event live from Hotel Astoria in Van Rij, the Netherlands, and I really want to thank the hotel for giving us the opportunity to being here, and they were just amazing in my opinion. We are raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organization committed to fight cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. All of your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society. And if you want to donate, you can also select for some of the donation incentives. Like we have a bitwire going for Rozenkruistilette Vreudestachel for the categories. Like you can choose to play Pamela any percent or Frudia any percent. And at the moment we didn't have any donations towards those. At least I will reload the page to make sure. No, we haven't had any donation for it yet, so you can still donate for that. And you can also donate for a donation incentive for the Ape Escape 2 run, because it's possible that at the end of that run we can get some monkey football, and I believe our own Record likes monkeys and he likes football, so that combination should be perfect. And you have also a bit more of Link Faces of Evil versus Zelda Wand of Gamelon. And yeah, at the moment, Zelda the Wand of Gamelon is in the lead, but it's just a little bit less than €5 difference. So if you want to see Link the Faces of Evil, you can still donate for it to have a whole different game. So I think that's enough for me for now. So
Yeah.
go on, Shuri.
Yeah.
We had a lot of things happen there.
Yeah, exactly. Like we had like
Blue
fake
mimics.
blue mimics, and that's like the same as the red mimics. You can see by slight color changes that they are there. Plus, they are against the wall. Normally, that does not happen with.
The bad part about blue mimics is just the good part is they don't move, they don't chase you if you come close to them. They only will attack you when you're like exactly next to them. The problem with those is they are extremely powerful and they're extremely trolly because they can also spawn right on top the stairs. So you don't, if you don't find the stairs and have a blue mimic in the room, it could be that the mimic is standing on the stairs and you actually have to kill it to progress.
Yes, or
Or
at
they
the
could
doorway,
just block the door. And they, as I said before, they are really overpowered. You mostly don't stand a chance against them. You're really lucky if you could trespass him by having an encounter. So you just take the encounter, run away, gladly survive, and then just walk past. And that's the thing, but yeah, they can troll you badly, and in especially in the 100% category. They like to troll around so much.
Yeah, but luckily at 100% category, you actually have a chance to survive it. So, but for the biggest problem for, in my opinion, is like if you play reject percent, which is like playing with the worst characters in the game.
So yeah, we just found a red saber, which is a pretty nice weapon around these floors since it's a fire weapon. And as you could have seen, there are some plants running around. Also, it has a very good IP attack that deals 3 times the normal damage, which we like to use at the jelly, because again, 3 times the damage. And those are Galbosts. And let's see if we get a Cancer Rock drop. Also, what we've had before, we found a blue chest with a Spider Jewel. The Spider Jewel itself is a pretty useless item, but with the right setup, it can be a really useful item. Because as Shuri said before, we have to kill the final boss, the Jelly, in 3 turns. In the first turn, he will heal our health. In the second, he will heal our magic. In the third, he will wait, and we got a Cancer Rock. And in the fourth, he will run away. He outspeeds us no matter what, because he's so fucking fast. Sorry for the bad word, for the word choice. He's very fast. But there's actually a way with the Spider Jewel that you can slow him down. If you find a fake spell also, which is speeding you up, you're actually able to outspeed the Cancer with the right equip, with the Jelly with the right equip. To use a fake and the Spider Jewel, you're actually able to outspeed the Jelly with RD to get a last attack in the 4th turn. It's not really helpful because the amount of turns you need to set it up are not really worth the one attack you can get in the 4th turn. But it's a nice mimic that was only done once, I think, by now by Real Critical. Shoutouts to him.
Yeah, Real Critical did a lot of work on like finding out the code and how everything works, etc.
Yeah, also he does a lot of challenges. He speedruns Iris% from time to time. He does very challenges which are sometimes just very scary, like getting to the Jelly and killing the Jelly without getting higher than level 20. I call it. I jinxed it. I'm sorry. The engage thing, the most useless item in the cave. And yeah, like kill the Jelly under level 20, which is pretty hard. Not because the kill is pretty difficult at level 20, but the more important part that that you aren't allowed to kill anything.
Wow.
that you aren't allowed to kill anything from a certain floor because you will instantly gain like 2 or 3 levels up. That's the hard part about it. Or like the sticky item challenge, as he's called it. When you equip an item, you're only allowed to unequip it by equipping another item via strongest. So if you are in the equip menu next time, you see you can just equip the optimized equipment. So you're only allowed in that challenge to use optimized equipment and are not allowed to use equip any equipment any other way, which is also pretty difficult if you want to keep your stuff to actually kill the jelly.
So Kinda Name was talking about the different turns of the jelly. But I have a donation about it because we got €5 from Nepomuk saying, "Go Shuri, 2-turn jelly kill, please."
If that happens, that would be pretty hype.
Yeah, so it is possible to get a 2-turn kill if you with the right equipment. It is even possible when you have high rolls, a good capsule monster, that's actually possible to get a 1-turn kill. I don't think anyone ever done that by now. Anyone ever got that? Because it really, you need, there are only very few combinations of items that will actually grant you the 1-turn kill. And even with that, it's a range.
Yeah, it's like the stars have to align for you to make it work, and that's probably not going to happen. But if that would be the world's first at a marathon, I will be very down for that. Also, the reason I'm walking to the door, you already saw one of those assassins. That way we can check if there's any assassins in the room and not get attacked by them.
But the good part is assassins and ninjas are can be manipulated in a way pretty good. If you walk into the doorway, as you've seen, they walk towards you, and they will always stop in the door when they come from up. And that's what when they come from up, they always do come down, look downwards on you. But if they come from the side, they will always stand in front of the door sideways, and that's the terminal blow, and that's the instant death. Very bad. And the way enemies work in this game, if you attack an enemy from the side, so if you look at an enemy from the side, you have a 50% chance on getting a first strike, meaning you will get a turn in which the enemies won't do anything. If you attack them from the back, you get a 100% chance on that.
Yeah.
But also you gotta be careful because the enemies work in the same way. If they attack you from the side, they also have a 50%, and if they attack you from behind, if you run away from them and they chase you up, they also get a 100% back.
And there are some exceptions like plants and that kind of stuff. They do not really have a side, so you can never like 50 or 100% them or vice versa.
Goes for many of the 2-tiled enemies. Although now that I think about it, not that many.
No, not that many. Unfortunately, that will make life so much easier.
Those dragons those lizard dragons also are not affected by that, I'd say.
No name. Just a fast question. Is it even a smart idea to feed this capture monster? I don't think it is useful at all, isn't it?
I want to say if you would have grinded for a secret fruit at the start, it would have been a chance that it would have been useful, because I think Form 5 it actually is pretty strong. But
that's super good.
Yeah, but I'd say just do it in the end. I mean, we don't have really time to lose because we're not aiming for PB or anything. I doubt that we go greatly overestimate anyways if we have the chance to get down. So I would just feed it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the higher forms at least have a chance to deal higher damage.
That's a good point. So this way we manipulate it and hope we get a 50. Yeah, we get 50%.
So the Sky Sword is one of very few blue chest items that are equipable by Decker and Guy, which are our main damage dealers. And the Sky Sword is just, as a blue chest weapon, as you can see, it's just way too strong for the game at this point.
Yeah, it's a big powerhouse, and with a little bit of luck we can use it throughout the whole cave. With the exception of the Master Jelly, if we hopefully find the Decker Blade.
Or 2 myths. I'd say 2 myths are still, although even if we find 2 myths, we could equip them on Maxim and on Guy, so we could still get the Sky on Decker, maybe give him a Cancer or Hydora if we find one.
I think if you use a Cancer Rock plus Sky Sword, that it is more damage.
That already do good damage. So yeah, we're already planning the jelly kill if you haven't told yet, because it's pretty strategically important if you do that as early as possible. Because the earlier you get a setup that you feel comfortable with, the less chests you have to open. So of course the run will get faster if you have everything you need. You just then need to gain some levels, kill some monsters, and then you're basically good to go.
Toga. And I'm very careful here. Those teleporters can teleport in your face, so you're not careful. I rather like play it safe. And also we have some new change
those
in music.
teleported, it's not really that important, I'd say, but at the later floors that can literally decide between life and death.
Yeah, the final few floors plus floor 50, 51, I would say, are the annoying floors. Let's kill it. What the hell?
I'd say for you, do with Iris and Guy an attack on one, Decker an individual one, and Artie another individual one. Because Iris and Guy are... Iris is faster than Decker. Oh no, never mind. Okay, they're both faster. In that case, that doesn't matter then.
Yeah, exactly.
So normally that's the thing you gotta watch out at the start, that you, if you have some stronger weapons on characters, that you not like waste some attacks by attacking an enemy with 1 or 2 characters, then using an overpowered weapon that would 100% kill him instantly, even at full health. That would be a waste of attacks and could cause a few extra turns in the battle.
Yeah, and what I'm doing right now is looking for this green course.
So yeah, as we said before, red cores at the start, they can really give a lot of experience. There are 4 different types of cores. There are the red ones, the blue ones, the green ones, and the ones that don't have a core inside. And yeah, they give very high amounts of experience. The red ones give 2,222. The blue ones give 11,111. The green ones give 33,333, and the red ones give 55,555. Don't ask me why the devs put it in there that way. We don't know either.
Yeah, but luckily they did, because it makes our speedrunning life a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean they could also just use like 50,000, 2,000 and such. But of course the extra experience in that case are nice.
Most definitely.
So also Heavy Lance, pretty decent weapon for the mid floors, for the normal enemies.
Oh, I expected it to go up, but it doesn't matter, because we can still use it for getting some extra experience.
I mean, it should be easy. I mean, we still had pretty good weapons.
Yeah,
Sky Sword is there, we have the Daily.
Red Saber.
No problem.
Should be good.
So yeah, and I assume you do the same strat as I do normally. If you should find Deadly Sword, you wait until you find at least 1 curse lift to equip.
For a marathon run, yes. Normally I am a do or die guy, but
yeah,
not in a marathon.
I'm definitely the person, because as I said before, the deadly weapons have a chance to be pretty strong even at the jelly, but only if you have curse lifters to uncurse them. Else they are really a burden, can make the fight so much harder, because you deal so much way less damage. And what I mostly do, if I find a deadly weapon, I instantly equip it. If I find a second one, I only equip it if I find at least 1 curse lifter.
Yeah, and if you play like 100%, you just equip it regardless, because it is so much faster. But 100% is probably never going to be at a marathon.
Yeah. Although, don't say that. Maybe next year's really long fun we'll have one. You'll never know. Although with the chances that you have in 100% because there is just so much that could could kill your run pretty early, pretty mid game, pretty late game. It's very inconsistent for a marathon.
Oh, it's even more inconsistent than this category.
It's probably better to just do a true 100% and a really, really long fun.
I think they did it last time.
Yeah, they did that last year. Cruel versus mid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really hoping for a Decaplate at this point, but just to have it out of the way. But
also, just to say, Fury is on a pretty good pace because most newer runners and also some of the older ones mostly aim for any run that they finish for a sub 100, so that they stay like sub 1 minute per floor. And we're at the mid 40s, we're 44 minutes in, so that's a pretty good time by now.
yeah, and even if it takes a little bit longer and it's safer.
But the slow floors we will reach soon.
Yeah, 50, 51 are, in my opinion, the worst floors in the Ancient Cave.
I personally talk about my red zone between the floors 73 and 99, because on these floors there are many enemies that have potential to kill you in one turn if you're not careful with them.
True. Yeah, because I did not get the amount of green cores that I wanted, I'm just going to kill a few more enemies just to be safe.
I just wonder right now, does Iris still have the red saber? Because if he has, it's pretty low rolls, I think.
I should check that.
I mean, if you're killing trees anyways.
Also, Artie's percentage of hitting the deadly has been very pathetic.
Yeah, we always speak about the percentage chance of hitting a deadly is 80%.
Technically,
we also say that's never gonna happen. Although I gotta say, mine are pretty consistent.
I'm going to.
Also, yeah, free sword. Not really the one thing you want to have against trees, in my opinion. I still got triggered right now.
Also, Hoshi can say something. We're just feeding this lovely bubble, so take away.
Fumi for king.
Sure, I can tell something about what you can win by donating, because if you donate a certain amount of money, you have a chance of winning one of the amazing prizes sponsored by NintendoCore.org. Any donation will get you a chance to win one of those prizes of the day, and you also have a 3 times bigger chance for the grand prize. And and if you want more information about the grand prize, follow the link that will be posted in chat. Just do ! grand prize and you will see all the prizes that, well, at least about the grand prize that you can win. And I would personally also want to thank NintendoCore.org for sponsoring the prizes, because Nintendo Core is an online store that sells Nintendo goodies and all sorts of other merchandise. Be sure to check them out at NintendoCore.org.
Thank you. So this is where we stop feeding for now.
So the way how feeding works in this game, by the way, at least in the US version, which is mostly the one to run because PAL version is just so much slower, is there are late game items and there are early game items, and the way they work is of course the higher the form or the higher level or capsule gets in terms of forms, the less they will like the early game stuff. And the thing also is it works like this: if you give your capsule a late game item, it is more likely to reject the early game items because it gets spoiled by it. That's the thing in the PAL version. That's actually the only advantage in the PAL version, because that's better in the PAL version, the feeding process, because they don't get spoiled that easily. But yeah, just to say, the walking speed alone in the PAL version is only about half the speed you see here.
It's like 70% slower.
Yeah.
Plus, the reason I'm fighting these ones is because they have a chance to...
Less RNG, less RNG.
yeah! Twist Jewel. That gives us a lot of agility bonus that we're definitely going to use.
Yeah, the twist jewel normally is a blue chest item, but there are the Prince lizards can drop it, and they are just very, very nice to have, especially if you have a deadly user, because as Shuri said, they give a massive boost on the agility, meaning that we are more likely to outspeed later enemies, which of course can be really helpful, especially since we have a chance on insta-killing an enemy before it can act then, especially for the later game enemies.
Oh, I thought the one with the techniques, so that was a nice surprise. I didn't see the snake.
The red one, yeah, didn't see the snake. Yeah, the red ones chase after an enemy. Once they see once there's an enemy nearby, they just randomly walk around, and once they see an enemy, they try to chase it as long as it is there. Once we kill it, it will go to the position that enemy last was at, and then we'll just freeze there. A few miracles, good to have.
Yeah, it's good save.
Miracles are like the elixirs of Final Fantasy. They completely heal your health and MP. And also revive.
Exactly, so they're a nice resource to have. Especially in Marathon, you want to feel, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Oh. Hey, trick ring plus trick. That is pretty darn good.
Wow. If we now get a Gator's blade and the Decker blade, that would be like 1000% two-turn kill.
See, now I outspeed these lizards because of the twist you with the gate.
Yeah, sadly the 80% don't seem to work anymore like that.
Monka's.
Yeah. Good thing about me, that I have to say, I gotta say I'm pretty lucky with my deadly luck. As long as I fight optional enemies. But the moment I start to underestimate enemies and just go for it instead of trying to walk around them, that's where my deadly stop working. And that's where I'm dying.
Oh wait, I have to be on top. Whatever.
Yeah. Luckily only two.
And I miss, of course I missed the deadly.
So yeah, the worst thing that could happen with this encounter is that you have 3 of them.
And knife throwers, like
you have
just
3 of them, and then 2 of them do a knife thrower, and 1 of them does their deadly attack, the guillotine, and kill Decker with it. That's literally the worst that could happen.
Luckily, that doesn't seem to happen often, but it can always happen. So we have to always be wary of that is a possibility.
It happened to me recently, though. Just a few weeks ago.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah. It's always nice when they exactly do. Best part is I'm pretty bad at maneuvering them mid-room. So they got a 50% back attack on me. And it was literally just a 50% back attack and then just like instantly guillotine to knife throwers. I was like, ugh. I mean, I survived it. But then I did the same mistake again, and then I didn't survive it anymore.
Yeah, it cannot be pretty.
Yeah. Ninjas are like, in these floors, the most annoying enemies you can get.
Definitely, most definitely. Like, luckily we have... wait, I should not say it. That's jinxing it, and that will definitely happen. You know probably what I wanted to say, but...
I can assume.
Also, what we didn't say is, like, there is a small chance to soft lock. Like, there is a small chance that we will get in a room and it's not fully finished, so...
As we said before, every floor gets generated randomly, room by room. Although, no, not by room. There are certain layouts, but sometimes the cave is just like, I'm too lazy to finish this room, I just skip half a room. And sometimes it can actually be that half a room is exactly where the stairs would have been. And so you're not able to progress any further. And that was a nice crit, Decker.
Yeah, that was a really good crit. Like 11,000. 1100.
800.
Oh.
But
I
still
cannot
good,
count.
But still a good crit. Best attacks I could still wish for is if you have Buttfuss against Earth, against Wind Genies, and he does a
Yeah.
hyper kick. That's like 1400.
That's indeed insane damage.
Yeah. I gotta say, I was once in the Iris Center. I was very lucky. I got a Buttfuss on floor 28 already done. Had to feed a few blue chest items for that, but that was definitely worth it. I mean, I ran into enemies. I tried to run away. And in a second, before I could run away, Buttfuss was faster, and he did his AoE attack and instantly killed all enemies. Also,
Yeah.
also nice Earth Tool drop there.
Yeah, it's nice if we want some extra defense points. So once again, I'm just killing a few enemies just to be 100% sure I'm not under-leveled.
Also in hallways, it's mostly like, if you get a chance to back attack him, it's very low. And you gotta decide always if you go for the 50% chance with the bigger enemies, or if you just try to squeeze through behind them. But definitely bigger enemies in hallways, we will see maybe a lot. And it is just the part that consumes most of the time, especially as we like to call it in the later games, the dragon dances. So there are some dragon enemies later in the game. They always move one tile for every 3 tiles we move.
Or sing a sword, for instance.
Yeah. And it's literally like we like to say it's the dragon dance, because we try to get behind them, but since in the hallway there are only very few spots where we actually get a chance on safely get a back attack, because as I said, 3 steps every time. The only way you can get a 100% back attack in the hallway is by taking a big risk, standing 1 tile behind it when it moves. And you have to hope that it moves to the other side than where you are, so you can move 2 tiles towards it. But of course, then there's a chance that the enemy will just work towards you in that case. I mean, it won't be a back attack then, but for some enemies, a single turn is definitely enough to kill you. So yeah, it's always the question: play it safe, lose some time, or go for the risk and risk if you die.
Yep, that's the game you definitely play during the Ancient Cave. Hey, the best healing spell, Kappa.
Yeah, Kappa. Stronger is like, it costs 8 MP and heals not that much. You can't really cast it as an AoE spell, because then the heal will be like 60 or 80 health per person. It's not very good.
No, it's terrible actually. But we just mean that it is the best.
I mean, if you don't have any healing spell, you're still very, very happy about it. But
yeah, sure.
yeah,
but
since we have Rally and Stronger, we don't
champion,
care
you mean?
about. Champion. We don't really care about it. So yeah, those are summoners. They can be really nasty. They mostly appear in groups of 2 to 4, and they have like 2 or like. Yeah, I think it was 2 attacks per turn each.
yeah.
We will later meet them again with the same sprite, with the same in-game sprite, only called Dark Summoners. They have 3 attacks then, I think, or still 2, I don't know, but they deal
3, yeah.
insane amount of damage.
And they
Also, I didn't want to say it, but I was like already 15 minutes ago, I was like, wow, we're in the 40s and we haven't seen a single party room.
Yeah, I was also like, when I said I didn't want to jinx it, I was about convention rooms, and that is one of those convention rooms.
So those are party rooms, or convention rooms as we like to call it. These are rooms that are generated with very, very many monsters and many chests. If you spawn in the middle of them and have to get through them, it can be a pain, because it loses a lot of time.
Yeah, and these are undead, so that's why we can use healing to kill them. So it might be weird to see, like, why is he using Stronger at an enemy?
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason.
Also, at those enemies, deadly weapons don't work. They will always miss because they are already undead.
Exactly.
So undead enemies always have a weakness against fire and against holy. And Holy in this game
Oh,
is
super.
only available in terms of healing spells.
Oh. What the heck? I'm just going to use a miracle. So.
I would just in case give some MP to Maxim too. In case you run into more undead you can't counter, so you can do with Maxim champions too.
I'm not that scared about it at the moment. I'd lay the flourish, yes, I would definitely agree, but oh man. We are pretty okay leveled at this point.
So, by the way, those enemies are, right now, there are fiends. They are pretty okay.
These ones, he means,
yeah,
by the way.
They are pretty okay. They are a little annoying in their movement, because they will chase us once we get in a certain range to them. But they aren't really that strong. They are potentially dangerous. But if you have at least one deadly and kill at least one of them in the first turn, they're not really scary anymore. And they have a very low chance to drop a so-called evil jewel, like a 5% chance.
2% chance.
2%. It's a cursed jewel that will add, I think it was like 100 attack power to your person, to your character. So especially if you have like a Gaze Blade, those is definitely a jewel you want to have. But because it's so rare, not many people go for it. I gotta say, I run the game for about 3 years. I was inactive for a while, but I'm running it for like 3 to 4 months by now actively again. And I've never seen an evil jewel outside the story where there is one chest where you get one guaranteed.
Yeah, like it's not worth to go for it unless you're like, just for experience and just feeling lucky.
Just for the experience and maybe an Iris % where you go in there anyways. You can go for it.
Yeah, but then with a 2% drop, if you get it, then the rest will get so much easier when you come back, because I think that's also blue chest drop, right?
It is called as a blue chest as far as I know. Wanna go for the Hydora rocks? I mean, we got a cancer.
Yeah, but Hydora is better.
Oh, really? If you see, I mean, the Hydora has the little attack boost, in it with it equipped, but only I see. I mean,
he's not cooperating.
It's a Hydora can drop a Hydora rock that has an IP that you can attack 3 times in 1 turn. But in my opinion, it's not as much. It's on the same level as a Cancer Rock, because the Hydora Rock costs more IP. You can only use it once at the jelly, and the Cancer Rock you can twice. So in a matter of turns, you get. If you compare them, you always get 4 attacks in 2 turns. The only difference, as I said before, is the Cancer Rock. If you equip it, only gives you a little more defense power. These Scarfos.
Okay, now I'm going to give Maxim some MP because Safakos are very fast and they are jerks.
Yeah. But they also,
it's only 1.
Yeah, but they also have a chance to drop a Prince Fruit, which is the fruit. To explain fruits, some enemies can drop fruits, and in the chest we can find magic fruits. Magic fruits are just fruits that all capsule monsters like very much, and that will increase their power by a good amount. And then every capsule has their individual fruit. Every capsule has their element, and the opposite element is always the fruit you need to bring a capsule monster to its master form. So like the capsule monsters can reach forms 1 to 4 by just feeding them, and then they have their master form, which can only be acquired by feeding a certain fruit at a certain form of the capsule.
Exactly.
And the Sapharcus.
Let me speak.
Okay.
And if you feed it, you get a very weird jingle, and if you hit it for the first time, like what's going on? What's going on with my game? It's pretty funny.
And the Sapharcus are, like I said before, able to drop the Prince Fruit, which is the fruit to feed up the one of the most useful capsules in the cave. It has, which would be Sully. It's a little carrot with feet. And it is really, especially in its evolution, it's pretty funny. It evolves from the carrot to an ape, to a human, to a statue from the Easter Islands. Very bizarre evolution, but it has a very good attacks. It has very high attack amount, but the downside of this capsule is it likes to defend very often.
Yeah.
And so since Sarfarkos are very rare, ooh, 2 no course. Let's press less RNG.
No RNG.
At least the blue one. That's at least something.
And
The
a
blue
red
and the red.
one. Yay.
That's still like 30,000 experience.
I guess it's better than nothing, but
Yeah. I mean, as Shuri said, the Sarfarkos are very hard to fight enemies, especially if you have 2 of them around. That's why you see Sully's master form so rarely in the cave. More cores.
that's good.
That no cores also have a little meme among themselves that we say it's more a written meme, and that's no core. It's more like a written meme because spelled and makes not much sense. We awfully like to say he asked for no cores, but he got no cores. So it's like he asked for no cores, the enemy, but he didn't get any.
Exactly.
But I gotta say, it's a pretty decent run right now. I mean, the Sky Sword, the Cancer Rock, the Trick Ring and Trick, the Water Ring and Dragon.
And the Red Saber, but I still want that Decker Blade.
The Decker...
Shakes fist in air.
I still gotta say, we either need a Decker Blade or 2 myths. There's no way around it.
Well, honestly, if we already can reach the jelly, I will be happy. But of course, if you can finish it, then that will be even better.
Yeah. So, just to say how much luck some people had, we're already like 20 minutes behind world record.
Yeah, like Max's run is so insane.
There are some people which have just such insane luck in the cave. Of course, it can be manipped. There are people who run this cave manipped.
But that's a different category as well.
That's a different category, but non-manipped sub 1 hour is already insane. And the world record is at 40-something, 45-something.
Yeah, I think 45-something, yeah. But yeah, it's not only luck, like Megas had some really bad rooms and he just knew how to maneuver. And that's the thing, if you can have the god luck in the world, but if you get in a tight situation, you do not know what to do, and you do not know how to adapt, yeah, that is where you will screw yourself over.
The thing is, if you want to have such a run, you definitely need like a Decker Blade on before floor 20, at least 1 or 2 deadlies with at least 1 or 2 curse lifters.
And preferably also a healing spell to make it safe.
Yeah, and maybe a Gatus, of course. So you can definitely say, like, on the 20s you have everything that you can say, okay, that is a kill, I can rush down. I only need a few levels more. But there is like not a big amount of equipment that you can find above floor 20 that you can say already, okay, that's kill. And wow, the triple confuse.
And 1 attack just for the heck of it, I guess. But yeah,
so yeah, also very nice to know we now reached floor 60. As we said before, the Decker Blade is available from 15 to the very end, and it's the best weapon we could ask for, but only Decker can equip it, obviously, it's his sword.
His blade.
His blade. But there is also from floor 60 onwards, which we are on right now, there is the so-called Myth Blade.
And Lizard Blow as well.
Yeah, Myth Blade is pretty bad. It's better, I think, though.
It is better, but
because
I will happy to have one of them.
The Myth Blade has an IP attack that will reduce any enemy's HP by 1/4.
Yeah.
And you're actually able to equip it on Guy, on Decker, and on Iris. So if you don't have a Decker Blade, having 2 Myth Blades can also save a run.
Also for the people just tuning in and it's like, since when is Iris a playable character? Maxim is called Iris.
Yeah, we're in the whole game, in story mode and in the cave, we're only able to rename the main character at the very start. And Iris was a donation incentive, I sniped it. or not real sniped it. I was the only one who donated it like half an hour before the run started for the memes. And the memes worked. We found an iris treasure already.
Okay. Like in an 80% run, you do not want to get any iris treasures just because you try to get items you want to use.
Yeah. Also, every time you open a chest, you get a little jingle with the opening animation. I want to say the iris jingle is a little longer than the normal one. Can't confirm that, but it at least feels.
It feels like it, and I think it's like a second longer or something. It's not like that significant, especially not in a marathon.
Yeah.
But
well, maybe we will see the memes. Maybe we'll see the perfect iris % start and get a sub 2 hour jelly kill, which is the aim anyways for the marathon run, and maybe find a second iris treasure. So we have like 30% of our iris % already done in 2 hours, which would be the optimal start for an iris %. But it's really insane to get that.
yeah, and it will be sad because we cannot finish it.
Definitely, because we don't have the time. Because as I said before, the world record right now is at 11 hours 44. I personally am the 5th person who ever finished the run officially a week ago with close to 17 hours. I did one unofficially about 3 years ago.
Hey, second twist
rule. That was 21.5 hours. Sadly, the record was broken, so I couldn't do it. Mr. Pier, also a very nice weapon. It's like the Red Saber, just it isn't fire elemental, it's ice elemental. It has a higher base attack than the Red Saber, and it also deals 3 times the damage with the IP attack. Also, yeah, welcome to the Dragon Dancers.
Yeah, well, luckily these dragons are not that bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's faster to kill and then just go all the way to the left because it's just RNG in which direction he goes every 3 steps / swipes, or it's better to say actions in this case. Also, if I'm smart, I'm already going to equip the Twist Jewel.
Probably would be smarter on Decker though, I'd say. Although why would it be? Wouldn't really be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely smart for perhaps for the jelly kill if we get Decker Blade, so we might be faster than Guy, but we have to check that out.
Yeah.
Whoa! Too bad we cannot use it. Like
the memes. The memes. 2 Dally rods and 2 chests on 3 chests right after. Wow, that's a meme.
That's something you want to see in a early in a 100% run, but it's not that easy. And those things, I should not contest them.
Oh, eyeballs.
Eyeballs are also my most hated enemy in the game. Oh, and oh wow, the way they're placed there is not.
Yeah, the start 60s can be pretty difficult for your movement patterns, because there are many enemies that like the eyes that always walk up and down, and once they're on the same height as you, they walk 3 steps towards you in one turn. The gold golems, they always turn around. And if you're too close to them and they look at you, they will come closer to you.
I just do that so I can manipulate and check the rest of the rooms without having too much of a problem. What the heck? Oh, there's the eyeball. I was like, where is it? Yeah, what I'm going to do now is this. So he's trapped, so we can just easily go into this room and not accidentally.
Well, the problem is the eyeballs is one of the enemies that are active even if you aren't in the room anymore. Most of the enemies will freeze where they are once you enter another room. But there are some enemies that will keep chasing you even if you change rooms.
Yeah, eyeballs is one of them, and then you have archfiends and stuff. So yeah, what the heck? Should be fine. I just hope. Oh man, this dragon is being a jerk, like insanely big jerk. Go to not at the stairs, please. Yeah, go up. Go up. The troll is real, people. And it's worth to do this because these dragons have like insane agility and they have a chance to kill me if I have really bad RNG.
Oh.
Let's check if it's a real one. I'm not going to equip it, but it's good to know.
It's nice to know if you have it or not. in case that you
Yeah, it's a real one.
in case you actually find a curse lifter, then you can reconsider. I mean, Artie definitely don't need to curse lift his daily rod.
Definitely not.
He definitely doesn't need the 1/8 that his IP with the does, because he can just like trick and or dragon.
Yeah, that's much more beneficial in damage.
That's probably gonna be the biggest question right now. Are we gonna make use of the water ring and the dragon in the end?
Yeah, or trick ring on Maxim. Yeah, it all depends on the stuff we're going to get.
Yeah. By the way, just as a question, if you know more about the trick ring, is it better to use the trick ring IP or actually cast trick?
I honestly do not know. If Creek is in chat, he
Just wanted to
might
say,
answer that for you guys.
I'll grab my phone, I'll open the chat, and then we'll see.
Like, Creek is a walking dictionary when it comes to the Asian cave.
He
so
definitely is. He isn't a world record holder, but he's like still is the best player the cave has to offer.
yeah, his knowledge is insane. Like, you can ask any question in like 10 seconds. It's like, yes, no, it's this much, etc.
All right, chat is open. So, Creek, if you're there, would be nice to know. Because I actually gotta say, I've never considered it by now, because I've never found a trick ring before.
You never?
Nope.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah. There are just some items that are really, really rare. Yeah. I don't... Yeah. Well, if he isn't, then it's not bad, after all.
I mean, like I said, if I already get to the jelly, that in a marathon is already like a big achievement. Although killing it, of course, will be pretty high.
Okay, Creek isn't there, but Mike and Nepu are there, and Mike just said the trick ring does 40% and the trick spell does 20%.
Well, then the IP might be the way to go.
Of course, we could need the IP for something else, but
We
like,
will see.
Like if we actually do in the end with like the Mist Rapier with Maxim, that could be in the end enough IP, because the Mist Rapier takes like 75%, so it could be enough to get a trick ring IP and to before.
Come on. Where's that Decker Blade when you need it?
I'll have to make some conversation real quick. Sup, Mike? Welcome to BSG. I saw in Discord that you did cave runs earlier today also. How the day went? It's out of curiosity.
Perhaps it's not that handy to do it in a marathon run.
Yeah, probably
honestly.
not, but...
Of course it misses when on these enemies.
It's always the same. The rally hits all the time, but if you actually depend on it, if it's a choice between life and death, it of course misses.
Yeah. Holy fruits. That would be nice if we had Darby, but unfortunately we don't. Which M form does Darby have again? Do you know that?
I think it was this. I know his form 4 was this blue dragon-like, blue elephant dragon, and I want to say M was he was like a red fire dragon. Not sure though.
Oh, nice. I did not expect that. So yeah, what we're doing now is just hoping to find the right items, kill a few enemies for experience, so we're like not under leveled, and hope for the best. Bless RNG. But at the moment we get a lot of like beginner items, which is a shame. Also, host, if you want to say anything, I think this is the right time for it.
Sure, I still have things to say. We want to thank ESA for supporting the event and for allowing us to stream on their channel. I also want to thank Esports Arena in Alphen aan de Rijn for providing us the gaming monitors for the event. The EGA is a home to a variety of on-site gaming events in Alphen aan de Rijn, including our BSG bi-monthly marathon. So if you want to see us besides the annual event, please come see us there. It's kind of like here, but just a little bit smaller, but it's still a lot of fun over there.
Go, yeah. Oh, that was not smart. Luckily it's just one and we still got to 50%, but that was not optimal movement. Like, we tried to manipulate it so we do a back attack, which helps out. Oh! Luckily we... Oh yeah, Fumi, you just want to punch someone, even though we can just escape. Thank you, Fumi, for your actions. That was intentional, though, to get that side attack. I'm just a little bit impatient sometimes at these enemies, which can be a problem, honestly.
Especially in the later floors, fights are potentially could get really easy, because in the later floors most enemies are bigger enemies, so they have sprites on the map that are 2 tiles, and the good thing about those enemies, they mostly in the later floors only have a maximum of 2 enemies in, so if you get a back attack on them and have it deadly, you're pretty much safe if it hits.
Yeah, with the exception of double archfiends or something that can still
double
be a pain.
archfiends, double golds.
Look at these ships. I guess we're not going there.
Yeah. Ships are very funny enemies. The ship is a boss in the story, a late game boss, and in the cave it just stands around, it doesn't move, it doesn't do anything. If you fight it, it only mostly just calls other monsters.
Yeah, exactly, and it's always undead, so if you have a lot of deadlies, it's just slow.
Yeah. But at least it's double weak against fire. At least I think it's double weak. Could also be single weak.
Not 100% sure. I truly trust in your expertise there.
I mean, it's effective definitely, because if you, I mean, fire is effective definitely because it's undead. But it could be that that's just like my thinking, because it's a wooden ship. Fire is even more effective. Not really sure.
I'm not sure if developers would
they probably wouldn't do that.
Also, I hope we can make it till the Jelly Room, but if we don't, and you've never seen the US version, it's going to be one garbled mess of sprites. You will love it. Ooh, Ice Foe. Can it still be handy?
Yeah, Hydoras.
Yeah, but hopefully, or Orkies, technically speaking, but still, we do not want to fight them if we have the chance not to. Because they can attack 8 times, right? Orkies.
Yes.
And that's like a Gades blade with legs. So you don't want to. You don't want to fight.
They can do 8 base attacks.
Or one special attack.
One special. But the good thing is, at least Orkies don't have the special ability that many Hydras have, that any of their attacks hits all enemies. So all of us.
Yeah, plus, can it paralyze? I don't...
Yeah. But still, if you fight 2 of them, they have 16 attacks. They deal about, depending on level and equipment, 100 to 200 damage per hit. So yeah. If you do the math.
That was the Archfiends. Let's hope we don't have to go that way.
Oh, are you already in the 70s?
Yeah, mid-70s already.
Ah, missed it.
If you blink, I'm already... No, just kidding. Let's hope these Wind Genies will die fast. I really...
Yeah, so we are then already in the red zone.
The red zone, that zone.
Thing is, Archfiends can be very brutal. They have many attacks. They do spells, attacking spells. They have special attacks. They can, in the best case, they just use stronger on themselves. But the worst part is how far they're spread. There are definitely some floors into now, like 10 floors. We can encounter them. They are in the normal sprites. They can be in chariot fights. They can be, so they can really become unexpected sometimes and are just really annoying to deal with.
Oh, for sure.
Especially since they are so powerful.
Also, this spell absorb just drains the MP of the person they are the spell on. So that's very annoying because now I could not heal with Artie. That's also the reason you want to spread out the MP like No Name said on certain floors, so you're 100% sure that if you have to heal, there's a bigger chance that you can.
Would have been a good IP farm then in Sundari if we not already had full IP.
Yeah, but what heck, it's not the worst, I guess. We have 10 miracles, so I'm just going to use one. Like, I do not want to jinx it, but it's very unlikely that we have to use them all.
Yeah, I mean we got rally, so we only have to use one if the most of the party dies.
Exactly. So those are also things you can take in consideration, like just get it for the MP.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of aprons the last few floors. I should have done the 99 apron %. Berserk Blade, boo!
That's a pretty... the Berserk Blade is a very nasty weapon. It is very powerful, especially at the start. The problem with the Berserk Blade is only Guy and Decker can equip it.
And it's cursed.
It is cursed, so you need a curse lifter if you want to unequip it. It is called... counted as an undead weapon, so you can't hit undead enemies with it. And the usefulness of it kinda ends around floor 25, I'd say. So that's the part when it becomes really weak. And since, of course, Decker and Guy are all damage dealers that can have very, very strong attacks with decent weapons, that's not really the weapon that you accidentally want to auto-equip on them.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us, like well being fast or trying to be fast, and then crap, we just did that, and then you want to cry.
There are just some mistakes you do, even if it's as an experienced runner, or as a middly experienced runner,
like this one.
Yeah, like just auto-equipping a Berserk Blade by accident, falsely trying to manip enemies, feeding the weapons that you kind of wanted to save for the jelly, just because you want to go fast.
Exactly.
All things that happen to any cave runner ever. And if Creek would say he never done one of those mistakes, I wouldn't even believe him. I mean, he is a very experienced runner, but we all started small.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the thing is, when you want to start this run, you will die a lot at the start because you're going to understand the cave enemy patterns, etc. Like, the start is like a very big learning curve. So it will take a while before you can do runs, but when you finally finish that first run, it's so satisfying. It really is a great feeling to have.
Yeah, especially in my opinion, as I said before, if you want to learn that, we have of course a Discord for the cave, so you can join that up and ask questions around.
Another rod.
Number 4. And in my opinion, to say best to learn about the cave would be like really doing bingos. Maybe try to do the Providence % category to learn the early movement patterns. Because as you've seen, he early found an item called Providence. That item can come, you can find from floor 21 onwards. And if you use it, you teleport out of the cave. And there is actually its own category that's literally just reach floor 21 as fast as possible and then get a Providence, get out. World record non-manip in that is around 4 minutes something.
Oh yeah, you have the minute one as well, yeah.
Yeah.
there's no separate category for that. So that's pretty good if you want to learn the movement patterns of the early enemies, because that run is pretty short, and it's literally only trying to move around the enemies. You just don't kill anything, you don't open any chests, you just try to move down and get it.
Yeah, so that's a great way to avoid it. But I also recommend, but it's like slow AF. That is learning doing 100% because you're like very high level, so the chance that you die is much lower, so you can make mistakes, and then you're like, oh crap, I made a mistake. But there's no worries, like the run is not that per se, with the exception if you screw up blue mimics, because blue mimics suck.
And that's like same thing as I said before. That's the main reason why I hate any percent, why I love doing Iris percent. Because an Iris percent is literally just go in, open some chests, find the items that you need, kill the jelly ones, and then it's done. You can screw up as much as you like, and you can still get a pretty decent time.
Exactly. The reason, by the way, I'm fighting these guys, the big X dudes, is because they have a fraction stone that we might want to get. We want to get it, but we might get it, you know?
Yeah, with the current case, it's definitely smart to go for an Gorgon Rock from the Gorgons, because it has an IP attack that deals 1/6 of the enemy's base health. Which is in case, since we don't have any fractionals by now, it would really come in handy, at least give us a chance.
Exactly.
But maybe we'll see. I mean, 98 dagger blades happen a lot.
They happen a lot, yeah. And there are a lot of clips out there that's just like, less chest, boom, dagger blade. That will be hype, but I hope we do not go till there because my heart will not take it.
I hate those situations too.
But this is also a great form of experience. Like a 20% drop, right? The Gorgon Rock.
I want to say this. 20 sounds right to me. And the music in this game. Oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we do not play like any percentage the normal game mode. Like the final song in that game is so, or that category is so freaking good.
Yeah. But we will get my absolute favorite song of the game. We will hopefully hear. That would be the Sinistrals battle theme, which also plays when we will fight Jelly. And that theme is just so awesome.
It is. Of course you miss.
Always the same. At the butt.
I wonder where his butt is, Kappa.
Well, maybe it is like exactly how the attack calls. It's his head butt.
His head is a butt.
Maybe he only has one hole that he uses as mouth and his butt.
I do not want to think about it.
The jelly is not Iris. The jelly is definitely an Iris. The jelly counts as an Iris treasure, but it's not Iris. Because Iris is actually... Oh no, not actually. Iris is a character in the main story, but she is like only a second identity, so not really real. But
spoilers. Wow.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry for those who never played the game and after this run thought about picking it up. But there are also other games. There is the game Lufia: The Legend Returns, which is sequel. It plays 200 years after, and there you're actually able to find Iris and face Iris and fight Iris
and kill Iris.
If you manage to survive that long. I mean, I played the game, I faced her twice. I wasn't able to kill her.
Yeah, because this is like, that's the Asian cave with 200 floors, right? If I remember correctly.
And that's the ancient cave with the even crazier Iris percent that no one done by now and no one will ever do. Even I gotta say, I consider doing it, because we told about blue chest and blue chest items before, and Iris treasures in The Legend Returns are actually blue chest equipment. So you only find Iris treasures in blue chests, which means they are even more rare than they are in this game.
Oh wow, really?
They are. But the good thing is actually, since they are blue chests, they're actually equipable. But
are they good?
They are very good. They are like girls' weapons only, but they are so fucking good. Sorry for the bad language again.
Monk ass, dude. Monk ass. Let's see.
By now, I found the Iris armor, the Iris sword, the Iris helm, and it was like so overpowered. Even on the character that was like back row that I never actually used, and was still like so overpowered when I used her.
That's insane. Okay. This way we can manipulate the back attack.
Spoilers from the chat, Iris is Sith Lord.
Knows. People who know who knows. Unintended. Wow, the misses are real, Artie.
We have a very important question to say from Kimor in the chat. What can you do with the gold you earn? That's a very good question.
With the?
With the gold. That's a very good question, because the thing is, you earn gold in battles, but as we said before, you can only take out of the cave the blue chest items. So every item you gain from a red chest will be taken the second you leave the cave. So is all the gold. So if you want to get a good job that's very well paid, become an ancient cave guard, because we runners mostly take like a few million out of the cave.
Oh boy.
And they just confiscate all of it. So there's no real use in
I'm
this
100%
game.
sure there's a Decablade there, but screw that. That's way too dangerous.
I'd say no Decablade, but an Iris Treasure, Kappa.
Let's see.
I gotta say, if I would have won right now, I would probably go for it. I would just equip the second deadly and go for it if I would have done an Iris now. Because, you know, living on the edge and stuff.
Yeah, but marathon and stuff.
Yeah. That's why I said when I would have run Iris. I mean, it's a marathon. Of course, I wouldn't run Iris in a marathon. Be careful with Chariot. You know, could be the Archfiend.
True.
And it is one.
As long as the destroy doesn't hit Decker, which is the only one to have. Oh, it's not even.
50%.
Should be good.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but I didn't want to go from up the stairs because then there's a bigger chance that you get back attacked.
Yeah. But sadly, that also means we gotta do some grinding later on and do some IP farming.
I'm okay with that if we manage to get that far.
Yeah.
But 82, that's...
I gotta say, there was a
Not bad.
time for me where I loved to IP farm on Genies, because that seemed consistent and very unlikely to be death. But of course it was very slow too, because of course the Genies like to defend, absorb, do whatever they want, except they're doing their special moves.
Yeah. I would really love a Gorgon Rock right now just for safety. But I do not have one yet, I believe.
I haven't noticed it either.
So that's a shame. Like, we have no fractionals at the moment. We have a few good things, but it's definitely not even close to get a jelly kill.
Definitely not.
Shout out to Jelly Dots, by the way.
Sadly, we didn't saw any orcs with squealers.
Yeah.
That's also a thing that I just read yesterday in the Discord discussion, that Squealer noticed that any bigger cave runner, any active cave runner, always gives shoutouts to him when we see a Squealer on screen.
Yeah, exactly. Squealer's one of the other Asian cave runners who also does like crazy challenges, which is always fun to watch.
And the thing is, in the early floors there are monsters called orcs, and they have certain moves they can do. They can attack, they can just sit turns out with their moves Oink and Squealer. And when they do Squealer, we always, of course, shout out to Squealer because he named himself after them. He even has them, no, he has an Archfiend as a profile pic, but on his screen he always has an orc.
Yeah, on his
screen,
layouts,
on his layout.
he always has that.
Where's the Curse Lifter? That's a good question, Mega Man. It's a good question.
I think one of our buddies took like Zach had like a run this week where he got 3 curse lifters in like a minute.
Yeah.
So he stole them all.
Yeah. I mean, I could look if I still have some in my pockets. I smuggled like 4 or 5 of them out of the cave in my last Iris percent kappa. Because I didn't need them in the cave, so of course I smuggled them out for the case I needed.
Okay, I guess we are forced to go to the next floor.
Curse lifters with Princess Toadstool in another castle. Damn it, we have to get back to the 20s, because the first 20 floors have a layout that's actually is from the castle areas in the main game.
Oh really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's the castle layout.
Oh. Oh, it's...
First 20s are the castles, those here are the mountains and caves, and the 20s are like the dungeons.
Ah, the more you know.
Yeah.
I run this game for like over 2 years now and didn't even know that.
Well, that's the thing, if you only run Ancient Cave, you don't know that much. You don't see the other places that much. And also, wow, we're getting enough spell I don't know if you haven't found any earlier, but I know I've definitely found 2 spell potions by now. So that's the question if Shuri will do the jelly meme in the end. Because spell potions are an item that give additional MP to any character. And there is a little meme some runners like to do to give this maximum guy some MP with that. Just to see like the 3 full bars at the jelly as a meme. At all 4 characters.
And as far as I know, BSG likes memes. Oh, nuts? Okay.
I mean, as I always say, especially when I run Iris percent, memes are more important than a good run for me, especially in Iris. That's why I like to call my Iris percents all memes percents, because I actually try to do every bigger meme in the cave once at least. Like showing off buttfills, doing a reject percent dives, doing a tier run with only Tri-Pan.
You mean trying pen? Which is also a meme. But do you know also a good meme? What is also a good meme? Getting a Decker Blade.
And then feeding it.
Please. Oh man, I would hate myself if that happens.
I mean, that meme is actually what I did in my RS percent. Every time after I killed the jelly, every time I got a Decker Blade, I just feeded it instantly.
Just want to be 100% sure that I will not accidentally encounter that Dark Summoner.
So yeah, there's a pretty low chance that it's only a single or a 2-1, but there are very, very likely to be 4 Dark Summoners. And as I said before, they are really dangerous. Especially the most dangerous part about the Summoners in general is they have the ability to call for reinforcements in form of other enemies, other undead enemies, or just more Dark Summoners or Summoners, which is really inconvenient.
Hey, he behaved. I did not expect that. I actually want to run some IP just in case for Guy already.
Bad Kiara just pointed out how what a poor guy Jelly right now is, because everyone's killing him, and he's just sitting in a bed enjoying the run, and we all want to kill him.
Watch out, Jelly does. No, just kidding.
So yeah, those are Copper Dragons. They have a special move called Stardust Blow, and we really like to abuse that, because that attack isn't strong enough to kill us, and it gives very good IP. But we would also be okay probably right now if we only get like normal attacks on Guy. Also sure, if I were you in that case, if he single attacks one of our guys, I would not use Champion, I would use Stronger just to save the MP.
That's actually a smart idea. But if he still uses Mirror, the jerk, then yeah. Then we get in some trouble. Are you kidding me? You're not pretty. don't look
Yeah,
at the mirror.
that's the as I like to call it, the IP farm phenomenon. Every time you have full IP, the enemies every time attack with their special moves, with the moves that you would normally IP grind on. And when you're actually grinding, they're all just fucking with you. Sorry for the bad language. I tried to keep it down, but
yeah, keep it down, dude.
That's the third time, man. Really gotta get it together.
Hey, there we go. Cinder Blast 1.
That's a good IP.
It's good IP. I think.
If we get one more single attack on Guy, that should be good.
I'm not sure if
champion would have done the deal.
Yeah, I was not 100% sure if that would be enough. But he likes to look in the mirror once again, so we have to wait a little bit. Come on. Oh, I actually attacked Guy. We have still not enough though, but we're getting closer. I cannot read. I was looking for stronger, but I was looking at the down right.
I'm sorry, Chad. I'm sorry. I'm just so used to swearing.
Yeah, me as well, but you have to switch your mindset, dude.
Yeah. Probably get better more often. I'll be actually here on the couch and do stuff, or maybe even run. I mean, it's my first marathon. It's the second time on couch. It's the second time on an event. So please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm still in the learning state.
I'm just going to use a high magic from Maxim to Artie, just in case I run out of MP.
Actually, I would say just kill him by now. I mean, we don't have really anything right now for Guy, and there are still many floors coming up, many encounters, and the chance that he's getting hit another time are pretty good.
I think you have a point.
Also, he's like, what, 95%? Probably around that.
We can check. 197.
See. I mean, that's basically everything he needs, as long as we don't fight like a Myth Blade that we equip on him. That would be like the only weapon for him, or maybe the very rare late Gator's Blade.
That would be awesome.
Same chances are there. Not very good chances, but chances are there. And that's the only reason we probably run this game still, because we always think chances are there. And strong, that's like the best out of battle spell, because it's the cheapest one, and you can actually heal good amount of health with it. And no, Totodile.
What did he do?
He fall off.
F.
He's probably mad because we're talking so much and don't let him come to word.
I wanted to think about the smart one, but never mind. I know a different one though about Totodile, but that would be a bit out of context. Let's see. No, I did not take that. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. Can we have some less oranges in chat for Decker Blade?
Yeah, we definitely need some. We have 8 more floors that we can open chests in. And just getting floors where not every door is blocked by dragons and stuff would be helpful at least already, since we then have more chance to open more chests.
Oh, man. Okay. It can be scary. I want to take it slow and not screw it up, because otherwise there's a chance that we have to have B-Farm again, which takes more time. Also, you could see there that like even teleporters can teleport on top of each other, and that can really screw up your mind, so you have to be careful about that.
Yeah, or could lead to total annihilation, because they teleport over each other and then like directly into you.
Yeah, that will be sad. Okay.
That's always, I gotta say, it's always a meme. Like, if that happens and you like, the first one attacks and you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, run away. Oh my god, I barely survived, I'm happy. Want to go into the menu, and then you see just the second battle starting, and you're just like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, and also keep down the swearing, dude.
How would you count that as a square?
Yeah, that does count as a swear.
Master sword.
Will be good like mid game. Now it's not that great.
Yeah. The only weapons you really want to see right now are weapons for jelly, or maybe if you don't have some of those by now, a few deadlies, because that's literally the only thing you really want to use on enemies by now. Double silver, that's okay.
As long as
Especially with the back attack.
yeah, but the back attack it doesn't matter if even if it was gold.
Yeah.
But, golds are always monk ass, especially in the 90%.
Yeah, especially if when they are trolly. If you think, okay, double gold, no problem, I got a back attack, I got 2 deadlies, that's no problem at all. Then it's when you get 3 deadly hit misses in a row and die.
About deadlies, as the 5th deadly rod, that's unbelievable. Can I just exchange 4 of those for a deck of blades?
Just wanted to say the same. Or at least for a myth blade, that would at least help by now. Could be maybe enough.
Perhaps the cave just wants to hype it up until the final part.
Yeah,
Because the cave knows.
Cave always knows.
To the right? No. The reason I am very hesitant to fight is because I do not know what kind of dragon this is.
Or you could,
I do not want to 50% it because if
Yeah.
it's double goldies, I
Yeah,
might be
just-
screwed.
I wanted to say you could try to back attack it just to see, but yeah, back attack chances in the hallway very low. Yeah, always nice, as I said in the early hours of the run, dragon dancing.
There we go. Well, it's still not too bad. You can lose minutes upon minutes just dragon dancing.
Yeah.
And,
Wor- Worst things are if you actually get dragon cons where you have a room full of like 10 or 12 dragons.
and you have to go through it because the stairs are there.
Wait, weren't the stairs in the hallway over there?
Yeah, they are, but I want to check for more chests.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there. I mean, the more chests are important, yeah, but down there, the dragons, especially if they block each other, it's just like very unlikely that you get past there within the next 10 minutes.
Nah, 10 minutes easily, but I'm getting desperate, okay? I really want that Decker Blade. I just tried a few more seconds. Yeah, okay, then he's going to the right and...
I know exactly how you feel, Shuri. We all been through there.
95, that's like this plus 3 more floors. No? I can do math. Ah, whatever. Anyway, we really have to get some good RNG now.
Uh-oh. Shuri,
Yes.
have you done any other bets except the one with the Iris treasure that we had? Because Panda Summer just wrote in chat, remember if he goes over estimate, he loses a finger.
Well, no. Because then I will mercy kill the relevant Lyle Kappa.
No doubles, no golds, okay.
It's good
Double,
enough.
double cover. Copper is like the best encounter you can have at these floors.
True.
A finger per minute.
Finger per minute, holy crap. What happens after 10 minutes?
Probably. Because what I said, and it's probably continuing with toes. And you don't want to know what comes on minute 21.
Well, I guess the stakes are high at this point. Oh, Monka S!
Yeah, that's the worst encounter in the cave. But yeah, luckily the stairs are there. Or unluckily, because we still haven't found anything to kill the jelly with. I would say right now, what I want to say always, if the cave is very gentle to you at the start, it is very likely to be very ungentle in the end.
That is normal our philosophy indeed. Yeah, how I'm going to tackle this. This might take a while, I guess. What a jerk. I'm like, my brain says like, how big is the chance that this is going to be gold 1? But that is exactly the reason I'm always in that much trouble during any percent runs.
Oh, someone just had a very kind idea there. We could just make it hugs instead of fingers off.
Like what instead of fingers?
Hugs. That you have to hug someone every time that for every minute that you overestimate. That's not hard, but it.
Right, let's not go overestimate anyway.
Yeah, that would probably be the best idea.
I used a smoke ball there because I was not sure if the Deli would hit, and otherwise it might be a little bit monk-ass.
Man, chat, calm down. We're not going overestimate, so stop with the scary theories.
Like,
I'm shaking just by reading it. I don't even want to tell it to you because I am scared that you will be scared and just say, okay, never mind. I'm not going overestimate. I'll end the run here. Bye.
death threats, monk-ass, no, just kidding. Yeah, I need to go down. Oh, but there's a dark summoner there. I do not want...
I could just go into the doorway and check if they teleport away.
They always teleport in the doorway, so...
Not always. The dragon just wants to dance.
Yeah, I refuse his invitation. Like Beyonce says, to the left, to the left. No, that's the wrong left. Let's see. Two more
Alright.
floors.
This is getting really close right now. The biggest thing is, even with a Decker Blade, it could still be very close in the end.
It's still very hard. But how hype would it be if we get Decker Blade plus Gaby's Blades last floor?
That would not be hype, that would be luck over 9,000.
That seems
And
hype to me.
then it's more likely to find an Iris treasure again.
Screw Iris treasures.
I mean, for right now, it's definitely more likely to find an Iris treasure than a Gator's Blade and a Decker Blade on one floor on 98. Captain, definitely not. This is any percent glitchless, no manips, so nope. We're not doing the stair death abuse. Especially since that glitch sets you back to level 1 and gets rid of all your items that you have, so no.
Yeah, that's not what we want to aim for. What I'm going to do now is just manipulate this dude so he's going not to annoy us.
In suicide percent, that's a very often used strat. So suicide percent for you're able to commit seppuku at the jelly to win.
That's fine enough to me. Man, this is so stupid. Last floor, less RNG. And before no chest at all at this floor, I'm going to laugh my ass off if that is the case.
That's one. That's very, very bad.
Shrek, please. I think that there's a loop, so I'm not even going to check that. Okay, at least we found the stairs, but we really want to scavenge every inch of this place now. I don't think we're lucky at this point.
Now's the big question. If we were to find a treasure room on this floor, would you go for it?
Yes. I'm desperate.
Yeah.
But I think this is it. Monk ass, man. So that will probably not be a kill, but
yeah,
perhaps you can just meme around a bit.
At least, as I like to say always when my runs are going bad, you don't need to enter from the bottom.
No, true, but I was not sure on which kind it was. This is like the worst.
Yeah. No, as I like to say, at least every time the run's bad, at least the music is good.
That is certainly true. Doesn't really matter, no, but let's see how much we can get out of it.
Yeah, so people in chat, get your calculators ready. We have to deal 9,980 damage. You can count how much damage we will deal per turn.
And we're not like we're not going to get that kill, but it would be cool if we Somehow got close.
Yeah, I say we'll do probably around 6k. Circo X would probably be best there. You can't heal him to get F9. No. That's a different boss. That has an abuse. If you heal him, he gets down to 1 HP.
Just for the memes. Another meme.
Don't forget to heal up those MP.
There we go. Full meme.
I see what you want to do, Jelly. I see what you want to do. And I gotta say, you deserve to do it. You got the rights to do it. Because, I mean, we were so mean to you all the time.
Okay, best music in this run. Let's go.
Music hype.
Trick ring is better. And we have dragons, so. Bum.
So, if you don't mind, I roughly count with.
Yeah, sure.
So, there we're at
460.
450. Wow. That's 900. That's 1.5. 1.6 we say roughly.
Is this better? No. Oh, I didn't even. Whatever.
Power Ring has trick? Oh.
I was also like, wait a second. Like, we're not going to kill this jelly, but time will be when you see like bars fading out of the jelly and stuff.
That's 2k.
Is it really that bad? At least we made it to the end. That's already like...
It's 2.1. That's 2.7.
Wow.
That's 4.1, I'd say around.
ShuriBear. So it's kind of funny. We lost time grinding IP for Guy who do not do anything. It's kind of funny. For 20.
That's 6-1. That's 6-6. That was 7. That's 7-7. That's 8-3.
And
so it was even close.
Time.
So with a mid blade, it would have definitely be enough.
yeah,
So
but still, we made
sad.
it to the jelly. That's
But it
very
was-
rare. So
It was a good run. It was a good fight.
exactly. There's still one more thing we have to do, and we're actually not allowed to.
Yeah, we pay the man, and we give away the iris treasure and the jelly.
Yeah, and we now can play with the box on the stairs. This is a meme in the community. Actually, you're only allowed to do this when you actually finish the cave. We didn't,
Yeah.
but I'm a mad lad, so I'm doing it anyway. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for No Name for commenting with me. It's always nice to have someone of the community also being here
You're welcome.
to help out. Thank you all for watching, and let's go to the next run.
Well, thank you, Shuri, for at least an exciting
Hey, you
run.
forgot your F.
Unfortunately, we didn't got to beat the jelly, but we've seen the jelly. So next up, we got Donut County by Green Snowdog. But before we have our setup done and watching the run, we will have an interview. But at first, we will play some ads. So please stay tuned.